Today we are making this bold and beautiful quilt using our superheroes and some solids and some bright colors to sparkle up any child's room, or hey, just a lover of comic books. I'm loving this. Let's get to it. Today we are using fat quarter packs to go along with our yardage of our different comic strips, and we are going to create a child's quilt. And so let's go ahead. We're going to iron all of our fat quarters, and then we're going to cut them into 3.5-inch strips to match up with our beautiful fabrics that we've cut in 10-inch by 10-inch squares. We're laying out and starting the plans for our comic strip quilt. I am so excited. Who said fabric wasn't beautiful? Today we're going to be matching 3 strips up, and we're going to have 3.5-inch strips. We're going to sew them together in packs of 3. Then we're going to be putting them on top of our comic blocks. So I am so excited about this 10-inch square, easy to make quilt, and we are going to show you how it's done right now. And we're just sewing our width of fabric. 3.5-inch by width of fabric. And I've gone ahead and cut up as well my solids, and that way my eyes are going to be able to rest in between looking at my beautiful comic book. And then I found this, I just fell in absolute love with it. So we're going to throw that into the quilt as well. What do you think about my color choices? I am loving these. Some I've cut, and then this I have a 10-inch by 10-inch that we bought when Joann Fabrics was going out of business. We're going to be using that today too. So I'm so excited. And we're heating our iron up to a cotton setting. I have distilled water in it, and we're going to have it on the steam setting. I'm going to go ahead and press all of my seams in my 3.5-inch strips, and then we can take them over to the cutting table and cut them up. These are going to go on the top or the bottom of our 10 by 10 blocks. I'm so excited. And it is strange how my fat quarters, some of them are just a little bit longer or shorter than the others. So, of course, we trim all those up. And we're going to get as many 3.5-inch by strips out of these strips as we can, cutting off the selvage on both sides. And, of course, we're using fat quarters. So, depending upon who cut them previously, you don't always get the same size. delayed edge stand. And today we're using our ruler with slits in it every 1/2 inch, so we can go ahead and trim out our 3.5 inch strips for our blocks. And we're cutting down all of our rows of 3 into our 3.5 inch blocks to make our blocks, which we will do now. And we are just pressing back our seams, making sure everything is ironed real nicely on our strips. And when I lay these out to cut them into my 3.5 inch strips, I'm staggering the colors a little bit so that I know which and how many I'm looking at. And I line each of them up with lines so that I know they're straight. So I'm going to straighten this one back up. And the reason why I'm staggering these is because I want to cut multiple at one time. And when I stagger them, I don't have all of my seams in one pile, making it harder for my wrist and my rotary blade to go through. Okay, and I've lined out all of our 3-inch strips with our block that at 3.5 that it's going to go with. And now we're coming over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew them on, and we're going to chain stitch. I'm going to do 2 of each. Well, I'm going to do a bunch of them, but we're going to do 2 of each block and get these sewn all together. And we're picking more yummy colors, grabbing our strip of 3 along with our block. Now doing 3.5 inch squares with our 10-inch square, we're going to end up trimming the final block. So I know how you're seeing this part here and screaming. Don't worry about it. We're going to trim it all up before we put the quilt together. Love these colors. What do you think, my friends? Hit that comment button. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, and we're laying our quilt out to take a look. I am so excited. I still have some pinned together because I'm deciding where I want to put them and mixing up my colors as well as my patterns. So what do you think? I am loving this. And we're sewing all of our rows together, so we have each of our rows labeled, and we are having fun. Okay, and this is rows 3 and 4 connecting to rows 5 and 6. So I've sewn 2 rows together at a time, and now we're sewing the rest. And I do have pins in them at all of my seams in between my blocks. So I'm pulling them out before I get to it. And sometimes I just throw one in the middle like this one, just to make sure that I'm perfectly lined up and that everything is going very smoothly. And pinning not only keeps you even, but it also keeps your seams let in the direction that I have pressed them in. And for this quilt, we are using our Husqvarna Viking. And this is a Platinum Edition 755. And of course, I have lots of different options for my stitching, which I absolutely love. We're doing a 2.5 on our stitching right now. I am controlling it by pedal. And again, because I am connecting 2 rows to 2 rows, we are building up some bulk. So it's necessary to keep adjusting it on the table. As you see on this table, I even have some poster board, or in this case, it's actually a foam display board that's a trifold folded over. So it has plenty of strength, just elongates my table. And I am using a light here next to me as well. And my light is very convenient, very handy, very easy to maneuver, and gives me the extra light when I'm sewing in the bedroom. My light is a Max Vision Tensor that has 75% more energy efficient. Colors appear truer, more natural, reduces eye strain, and of course, allows me to see what I'm doing. And yes, my friends, this is Wendy with Where Wendy Creates, along with her mom, Sylvia. And today we are going to finish this top. I am so excited. It is looking so gorgeous. Can't wait to now connect the other 2 rows. So we still have our sticky notes on it. This is row 3 from the top down. We're going to connect it to row 2, pin them up, and then I'll meet you back at the sewing machine. and we are looking at our stunning quilt. I am loving this with our superheroes embodied in our beautiful twin size quilt. I'm excited. And this is a quilt, my friends, you can do as well. Remember, we used a whole bunch of coordinating bright solids, just kind of off, but still working as a solid, with our beautiful comic strips. And now we have a great gift for Sylvia's grandson or granddaughter who is going to receive this quilt. I'm so excited. You can make this too. And hit that comment button. I want to know, are you going to make, or have you ever used comic strips or anything to make a quilt? And a better question, have you ever made a quilt for a grandchild? Maybe it's time. I'm excited. I want to hear about it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button, and I'll see you again real soon. Thanks, my friends. Bye.